Bill, let's start with the premise that college football fans are incredibly excited that there's going to be a 4-team playoff. Now it's up to you to figure out how to make it happen. What are the big challenges you're trying to solve?
Well, first of all, we want to create a championship game that will be an experience that fans and the athletes will remember. We've got a great opportunity to create an iconic sporting event in this country from scratch, and I think that's probably the most exciting thing about it.
Fans clearly agree with you. I think I even saw when the website started, people could vote on the emblem they wanted for the college football playoff. Of course, it's aptly named College Football Playoff. People will remember that very well. The big thing people want to know is, how are the 4 teams going to be chosen?
Well, there'll be a selection committee, and they will, just like the NCAA tournament committee, they will select the teams, then they will seed them. So they'll rank them 1 through 4, and one's going to play 4, two's going to play 3. We don't know the details of the committee yet. We can talk about that in a second, but that's going to be a very interesting process.
That's the challenge, right? Deciding how the 4 teams are chosen, because certainly there will be a number of teams that think they've built up the resume to qualify.
Yeah, and we get that. Team 5 is going to be very disappointed. I mean, if you think about it, we got a great event. Everybody wants to be a part of it. And the team that just doesn't quite make it, of course, is going to be disappointed. If they weren't disappointed, then we wouldn't be doing our jobs. But the criteria, we have the broad criteria in place, and it's all the common sense things that you would think about. Who did you play? Of course, how did you do? What about head-to-head? What about common opponents? Did you win your conference? So all those common sense things will go into the committee's decision.
And of course, the big question then becomes, who's on this committee? Who's making the decision?
Yeah, we don't know who it's going to be, but I know it'll be a group of quality people, people of highest integrity, people who know the game and love the game and are willing to commit a considerable amount of time. We think this committee will require somewhere between 20 to 30 days a year just in going to meetings, and additionally the folks are going to have to take time to study the teams on their own.
Now, another challenge, of course, is working out details and incorporating the 5 major conferences, making sure everyone's working together with the bowl structure as well. Has that been difficult, or has that been easy working with the conferences?
You know, the conferences manage this event, so it's their event, and they decide how it works. And we have obviously 3 contract bowls. Certain conferences have entered into contracts for their champions to play in the Rose, Sugar, and Orange Bowl, and that's so those 3 bowls will be part of the semifinal rotation. And then we have 3 other bowls that will be a part of the semifinal rotation. But for the championship, for the semifinals, there's no automatic qualification. It's all based on how you did that year and who you did it against. So it's really going to be cool, and fans are going to love it.
As someone who's been involved in this process for years, what has it been like seeing it go from a situation where there was no ultimate national championship game to now the BCS and then eventually a 14 playoff coming?
You know, the BCS did so much for college football in giving us an opportunity for 1 and 2 to meet in a bowl game, which almost never happened before, as you know. But for the last 15 years, and this will be year 16, we've had that by the BCS. And people are looking forward to the BCS ending, but I want people to remember the good things that the BCS did for college football. For the last 16 years, for a whole generation, we've had 1 and 2 meeting in a bowl game, which again almost never happened before. But now it's time for a new deal. We've kept a lot of the good parts of the BCS in terms of the regular season and the preservation of the bowl system, but now we're going to have a 4-team tournament.
You're a fan. This has got to be exciting to you, yes?
Oh, yeah, it's really exciting. You know, I think all of us fans just want more football, and that's what we're going to have.